One day, the story of these Ohio State Buckeyes will be written.
All the stories that, have been written but need to be told.
Every great story has a hero, a villain, triumph, and heartbreak. But who gets to write that story?
We want to win so that all of our stories can be told.
There's the story of the head coach who couldn't win the big one until he did. The story of the kid who grew up dreaming of this moment and then made it reality. The story of the quarterback who went from Pennsylvania to Kansas, only to find out he belonged in Ohio all along. The story of the running back who gave glory to God and then got the glory himself. But a story is only as good as its final chapter. And tonight, the Buckeyes put pen to paper and write the ending that seemed so improbable just 6 weeks ago. There are 100 different ways to write this story, but only one way to end it. The football fever starts right now.
Well, it's been 10 years since the Buckeyes have been in this position, the chance to win a national championship. Now the last remaining step to Buckeye glory is defeating the talented Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a special championship edition of The Football Fever. I'm Ben Buchanan. Whew, let's go, baby. Alongside my guys, Obi Stillwell, Jay Richardson, Kellyanne Stitz, and Dave Holmes will join us shortly from Atlanta. But first, guys, a lot of genuine excitement for this game.
Yes.
Guys, how are we feeling going into this one? Jay Rich, we're going to start with you.
Oh, I'm feeling very, very excited. I'm not nervous, boys. I'm not nervous.
Okay.
I understand some things that a lot of people who are watching this game are going to realize is that this might not be the game that everyone expects it to be. We're looking at the Vegas odds, we're looking at the betting odds and all the favorites, and everyone's from Columbus is feeling good. I'm feeling good, but don't be shocked if this is a closer football game than I think we thought it was going to be. And if this is a little bit more competitive, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman, but today is about destiny, and I think the Ohio State Buckeyes were always destined to be right here, right now, waiting to be national champions, and I just can't wait to see how that happens.
Obi, it is starting to feel like a team of destiny at this point.
No, absolutely, and I think that this is going to be an interesting game, as Jay was speaking about, and I think it's going to be a game that Notre Dame tries to slow down, right, and really try to manage the clock. I think that's going to be a key to their victory, though I don't believe they're going to be able to pull it out. I think the Buckeyes are going to win by 10 at least. 10 or more.
Does feel like Ohio State is the more talented football team. We'll see, right? They've been challenged if they're a tough football team. Hopefully they don't fall into that trap. We know that, man, they're the Ferrari, as we know, not the dump truck. Be a Ferrari tonight. All right, time now to tap into that excitement from down in Atlanta. Dave and Kellyanne joining us from Mercedes-Benz Stadium as the Buckeyes look to take home their first national title in 10 years and extend their win streak to 7 straight against the Fighting Irish. Guys?
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the place to be tonight. It is electric in here. Travis Scott just walked by. Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm fangirled a little bit. He just walked by. We're talking about there was a buzz here. Yeah. There was certainly a buzz when Travis Scott just walked by.
Yeah, and we can't wait for the game itself. The Buckeyes and the Fighting Irish. I've covered Super Bowls, Kellyanne. That's a wine and cheese corporate crowd. Everyone here has a rooting interest tonight. It is red or green in these stands.
It certainly is, and there are a lot of Ohio against the world flags here in this stadium. But like you said, 50-50, the excitement, everybody is just excited to see how this matchup plays out. Two of the top defenses, a really good Ohio State team. Notre Dame hasn't won a national championship since the 1980s, a Lou Holtz era. A lot to play for both of these teams, but especially for the Buckeye seniors who returned for this moment, and they will certainly leave it all out there tonight.
This is kind of, where we dreamed we would be and where we worked to be. And, for a lot of us seniors, it's our last game, our last trip together.
We got to put our everything into this fight because we know it's going to be a bout, man. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a war, and it's not going to be given to us. We're going to have to go earn it out there.
I grew up a Buckeye, grew up 15 minutes away from the Woody. Always loved the Buckeyes, and put on that scarlet and gray is a dream come true for me, and the rest of the guys will tell you the same thing. So. Knowing that it's my last time regardless, putting it on, it's going to be an emotional moment. But, we're excited for it, and we're ready for it, and what better way to do it in the national championship.
Those seniors came back for this moment. One of them transferred from this moment, and that is quarterback Will Howard.
Will Howard is looking to be the guy to lead this team to a national championship. When he stepped on campus, he bought into the culture, he rallied the team, and they immediately accepted him like family. But the biggest thing that we've heard about Will, what stands out about him, is his leadership, and his leadership will be relied on today on the offense to get off to a fast start. and try to get into a rhythm early.
I've long said there's one team in this field that can beat the Buckeyes, and that's the Buckeyes.
Yes.
Will Howard doesn't turn it over tonight, they'll be fine. He also would ideally find number 4, who was very quiet against Texas.
Well, Texas figured out the game plan to limit Jeremiah Smith to essentially an All-American decoy. They double-teamed him, triple-teamed him that time in zone coverage. But, Dave, we've heard all week long, we know that Notre Dame prides themselves on playing man coverage. But will Marcus Freeman turn on that tape against Texas and see how they limited Jeremiah Smith to just 1 catch for 3 yards this season low? But JJ, he is hungry if they play man coverage to win those one-on-one battles.
Guys, I've seen the average GPA. Notre Dame's too smart to play man. If they play man, they'll get eaten alive. So I'm very curious. That's one of the matchups we're going to be watching. We're going to have more here from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in just a bit.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, it's certainly been a season of redemption for this Buckeye team. After missing the playoffs last year, Ohio State had a poor performance in the Cotton Bowl against Missouri, where the Buckeyes did not even find the end zone, eventually losing that game 14-3. Quite the forgettable contest, as we remember. But the Buckeyes certainly made amends this year. They defeated a tough Texas Longhorns team 28-14, courtesy of this Jack Sawyer scoop and score that officially gave him legendary, that's right, legendary status in Columbus. Love that. But now it's time to make amends for 2022. The Buckeyes were a missed field goal away from beating talented Georgia Bulldogs that year. And let's be honest, OSU likely would have gone on to beat TCU that year to win the national title. Now, that game was a true heartbreaker and one that many senior leaders on this team remember like it was yesterday. Jay, how will the Bucks be using these past 2 seasons as motivation to win it all tonight?
You know, Ben, there's something to be said for when you got guys who are in a situation that they feel they deserve and they feel like they should have already won one. And if you're Ryan Day, you feel like you should have already won one. And they know the journey is not going to be easy. They were prepared for this. They all came back for this. These seniors have foregone potentially lucrative NFL careers to finish things here in Columbus, or I should say in Atlanta. But when you're talking about a situation where you got a bunch of guys who feel like something's owed to them, they're going to fight and scrape for it a little bit harder than guys who feel like there's tomorrow. These guys know there's no tomorrow. They know this is their last time to be together. When you watch all the interviews, all they keep saying is, man, this is our last time together, guys. And something about that feeling of knowing this is your last chance to get something done, it inspires you in a way nothing else can. So I think they're going to be extremely focused tonight.
Hopefully we see a hungry and a focused football team tonight. That's a good point. Obi's senior leadership has been crucial to the Buckeyes' success in the regular season and in the playoffs. How important is it to have the most experienced guys step up tonight, but also that next generation of Buckeyes make their mark tonight?
Yeah, you know what? It's vital, you know, and the thing is that these Buckeye players are actually doing something, I think, that is going to affect their legacy, affect other generations, but even college football. For them to come together and really make a decision in the middle of a COVID year, right, in the middle of NIL, in the middle of the portal, they could have left. They could have did some other things, or they could have went to the NFL. But guess what? They said, you know what? We're going to finish what we started. They came together. I also believe, I got a sneaking suspicion that they actually came together even after that Michigan game and had a one-on-one with the coaching staff and said, hey, listen, if we're gonna lose, man, we're gonna lose with the chamber empty. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna empty it all out and make sure that we put it all out on the field. And I think that was a conversation that it seemed like maybe the coaches had a conversation with the players, but I guarantee you those seniors had a conversation with those coaches and said, hey, listen, let's put it all out there.
No doubt.
And I think that's what has transitioned this team. And without that senior leadership, this would be a different. I don't even think we'd be here.
Top-down leadership. Right? It starts with the seniors and then works its way down. So they had a player-only meeting that they talked about, and to see the way that they've been able to recruit since that Michigan game, it's been pretty impressive, guys. All right, well, to win a national championship, you have to be bold, as we know. Coming up next on The Football Fever, we break down our bold takes ahead of the national championship. This is The Football Fever. Stay with us. to the football fever. Be bold. That's the mentality this Buckeye team is looking to embody as they hope to take down the Fighting Irish tonight. But as we know, with boldness certainly comes a lot of risk. Jay Richardson, what's your bold take going into this epic national championship tonight?
People are not going to like this, and this might come off as bold, but I think it's just the case because of the matchups that we're about to see tonight. I think it will be a one-score game early in the fourth quarter of this Ohio State-Notre Dame matchup. Yes, that's a bold take because everyone's got the Vegas line of almost double digits, and we all assume that this will be a track meet for Ohio State and that, Notre Dame, if they're going to play man, is going to get run out of the gym. I have a lot more faith in Marcus Freeman as a head coach, as a schemer, as a planner, and as a strategist, and I do love this Notre Dame team's chemistry, so they are not going to lay down. This will be a fight. By the way, the blueprint is kind of out on how to slow down the Ohio State offense. If you go back and you watch that Texas game, if you watch the game from that team up north, and even if you go back and watch Penn State, they all did similar things. You got to get Ohio State in 3rd and long. You have got to force them to run the football on first down. Ohio State fell into that trap against Texas. They fell into that trap against UM, and you don't want to see them do that. But if Ohio State falls into the trap of playing tough man football and trying to play into a phone booth and run the ball on first down and essentially wasting a down, and now it's 2nd and long, and maybe the screen doesn't work out, all of a sudden it's 3rd and long, and you have Jeremiah bracketed. Now Will Howard has to make some extremely tight window throws under pressure. They will pressure on 3rd down. That's their recipe to make this thing interesting, make this thing close, and then eventually I think in the 4th, Ohio State will pull away. But don't be shocked if this thing looks competitive for 3 quarters, boys.
That's great analysis, Jay. Buckeye Nation, I hope you don't have to sweat it out like Jay Richardson talked about, but this is a talented Irish team, as we know. Obi, you're looking for an explosive game tonight from the freshman phenom. The question, will Jeremiah Smith actually be a difference maker tonight? Obviously, last game, he was kept extremely quiet versus Texas.
He was, and some people look at that and like, oh, that's a bold pick. Obi, I mean, come on, Jeremiah Smith, duh, everybody knows that. Well, actually, Notre Dame is looking to actually play man-to-man. They play man-to-man over 57% of the time. But I kind of echo Jay. I don't believe that they're going to necessarily play man-to-man the entire game. Here's the trick. Is to look like you're actually playing zone when you actually are playing man, right? So they're going to have to work to really create some confusion when it comes to Will Howard, making him hold on to that ball, tap that ball a couple times before he throws, make a decision, and then maybe allow that defensive front of Notre Dame to actually get to him. What Ohio State will do, I believe, will move the pocket, move Will Howard out of the pocket, also move Jeremiah Smith, right? That motion actually is an indicator many times. Are they in zone or are they in man-to-man? And if that guy follows Jeremiah Smith, guess what? They're in man-to-man. And I think they actually have a little, Marcus Freeman, I think he has a little audacity to play a little man-to-man. I think he's going to disguise it a little bit. And I think Jeremiah Smith is going to make them pay for it.
Listen, they've proven that they can do it. This is an epic matchup tonight. What else
If I can buffer Obi's point here, they have 2 cornerbacks, Notre Dame does. You're talking about Leonard Moore and Christian Gray. Between these 2 guys, 5 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, and 16 pass breakups. So they are solid on the edges.
Yes.
This is not like a no contest on the edges where Ohio State's athletes are going to be overwhelming for the secondary of Notre Dame. That's the strength of their unit. So these guys are confident in what they do. You could hear them in all the sound bites talking about their confidence being in, hey, we're going to play what we play. Obi's right. They're going to disguise a lot, but I think they're going to end up in cover 1, and that's what Will Howard needs to be seeing and understanding what they're in. And if Will sees it pre-snap and they stay in it, they're going to get diced up. If they move around, now you make Will think, slow him down a little bit. Now it gets interesting, but he's right.
Great thing.
It's going to be interesting.
Very shortly, we'll be able to settle it on the field. Here we go. All right, some pretty bold thoughts here in studio tonight. Let's head down to Atlanta to hear more from Dave and Kellyanne. Guys, what are your bold takes for this national championship tonight?
Ooh, spicy takes. We love those spicy takes down here in Hot Atlanta.
Yeah, hot takes in Hot Atlanta, David. My hot take tonight is that Ohio State will win by at least 2 offensive touchdowns and hold Notre Dame to 13 points. Looking at the offense of Ohio State, if they can limit those penalties, play clean, disciplined football, when Will Howard gets into a rhythm and off to those fast starts, I mean, it could be a game by halftime in terms of Ohio State leading. If Notre Dame plays that man coverage, I'm confident in Jeremiah Smith's ability to win his one-on-one battles. And this matchup features 2 of the top defenses in the country. Notre Dame loves to run the ball. They have 3 really good running backs led by Jeremiah Smith. Riley Leonard can also run the ball, but they're going to be running into a brick wall in Ohio State's defensive line. And the Buckeyes have the best goal line defense in the country. So I'm confident in their ability to win tonight.
Yeah, my hot take goes to JT Tuimoloau. Jack Sawyer has been the man. He was the man at last year's Cotton Bowl. He was the man at this year's Cotton Bowl. I think tonight JT wrecks this game with multiple sacks, maybe a strip sack. Jack Sawyer's suddenly going to get a lot of attention, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
That's going to free up JTT to have a Penn State-style game tonight.
Oh, Penn
He's
State
my
JT.
guy. He's my guy to wreck Riley Leonard and the Irish. We have more football fever coming up next. Yeah, final thoughts here from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Kellyanne, I'll start with you.
I think this is Ohio State's game to lose, Dave. We talked about it all season long. We believe that the only team that can beat Ohio State is Ohio State. Now, look, Notre Dame, they are a very good team. They're coming into Mercedes-Benz Stadium, winning their last 13 games. They're the underdog in this one. I'm sure that they've adopted that mentality as they're looking to win their first national title in 30 years. But this Buckeye group, there's something special about this group and the brotherhood. The reason that they came back for this moment, you know that the seniors are going to give it their all out there tonight and leave no doubt.
I sincerely believe Ohio State won the national championship in the first quarter against Tennessee. All I needed to know was, were you a team that was going to lay down and die after Michigan, or were you going to rally the troops? Say what you want about Ryan Day against Michigan. This is one of the best head coaching jobs I've ever seen in college football. To get a team that down, that distraught, 4-year seniors who thought everything was lost until it wasn't. I think tonight's the night they write the final chapter to that story. That's going to do it for us, guys. We've got a game to watch here. The Buckeyes and the Fighting Irish just about ready to kick off here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
All right, before we wrap here, we want to share a very special memory. As we all know, it's been 10 years since the Buckeyes won their last national title. And for all you young Buckeye fans, you know that watching the game on a school night, it isn't the easiest thing. But if you do need an excuse to miss some school, just follow Cameron's lead right here. Cameron, who sadly lost his battle with cancer, wasn't just a Buckeye fan. He was a clever and a brilliant young man. And his mother, Renee, followed her son's lead after that big win. In 2015, he managed to score a late pass, as you'll see, for a serious case of Buckeye fever. Cameron Friend will forever be remembered, not only as a Buckeye, but as a courageous young man. That's a great story there. Obi, I know you have a personal connection.
Yeah. And Renee, thank you so much for allowing us to honor Cameron in that way. And he was a funny kid, and Renee just rolled with it, man. So yeah, you guys, you need some. Actually, the weather may not allow y'all to go to school tomorrow.
That is true.
So,
Might be a school day.
You may not need it, but if not, take a screenshot of that letter that Renee wrote for Cameron. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's a beautiful story.
Jay, final thoughts going into this one, man. We're almost here. National championship, Ohio State, Notre Dame, man.
It's been a beautiful journey for the Ohio State Buckeyes in 2024, 2025. I loved to watch their growth and their evolution from everybody thinking they were the best team in the world after the first 5 weeks to everyone hating them after losing that big game, to them all of a sudden reemerging like the phoenix from the ashes and being absolutely scorching to every single team they've come across. They were in the toughest bracket in college football, and everyone said the same thing. If they can come out of that bracket, they will deserve and will be national champions and the best football team in college sports, and that's what they are right now. And all that's left is for them to go out there and show it one more time. Yeah. After that, it's a coronation and it's a celebration. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but boys, I feel really, really good about what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah.
I think it's so Ohio State to go and win the national championship.
Let's do it.
You know what I mean? After going through what we went through with Michigan and then bounce back in this form and win the national championship would be unreal.
Oh, it's a resilient football team. We have a chance to prove it on the stadium tonight. Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Can't wait, boys. Another great season right here.
And Ryan Day, go get you one, baby.
All right, that'll do it for us here on The Football Fever. Buckeyes fighting Irish. Kick it off in just a few minutes for the right to be called national champions on ESPN. Join us right back here on ABC6 following the game for our post-game analysis. Until then, for the entire Football Fever team, I'm Ben Buchanan. Good night, everyone. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Ram Pride.